So let's go on to some feature games for week 5. Let's start with the London game, which I believe you're going to start us off with, Paul.
Yeah, what a game. Like our supposed adopted Jaguars, the London Jaguars, and possibly the best team at the moment in the AFC coming to town, and a superstar quarterback. And yeah, the Bills, after week 1, like laying an egg against the Jets, with maybe they were distracted with the Aaron Rodgers situation, but since then they have handled comfortably every team that they've come up against. They have lost their best corner though this week in Tre'Davious White. He's done. Looks like he's done for the season, which is really unfortunate because he was having a day against Miami. Like we touched upon earlier with the Dolphins, they controlled the Dolphins. They didn't make any mistakes. They played very mature against the Dolphins and just reminded the league that the Bills are going to be a huge problem moving forward. Watching the game live this past week with Jacksonville, I felt they were playing quite cautious, and they knew that if we play a mature, and I knew that they played the week before against the Texans, they played just a horrible game of football with the fullback returning a kick for a touchdown, and the special teams was just a complete disaster. Like the whole game was just a disaster from start to finish for Jacksonville. Watching the game live, they seem to be playing to not make mistakes, and against the Falcons you can do that and get away with it because the Falcons got in their own way. Desmond Ridder reminded the league that he's not an NFL level quarterback, and despite Bijan Robinson seeing him live was a pleasure. Like seeing his cuts. We were behind the end zone, and to see him set up blocks and to see him set up men, just one-on-one, it's over. Like there's no point. You might as well just hold your hands up and just watch him run past you one-on-one, because yeah, it's over. But sorry, went off on a tangent. But yeah,
he broke one Jack's ankles, didn't he, in the first quarter?
He certainly did, but the Jags need a different game plan this week against the Bills. The one thing that I have with the Jags, and where I give the Jags an advantage, is that they stayed here. They've now been here for 2 weeks. They're acclimatized to London. They know the stadium. The Bills, let's get it right. The Bills don't really want to be here. It's a bit of a distraction, flying over, playing the game, flying back. But the Bills have so much talent, and what I was surprised of researching this game, the Bills have a top 5 pass D in the league, which surprised me. And they lead the league in sacks without Von Miller. Watching the game back against the Dolphins, they were into his face all day long. Like, they are a huge problem. The Jags, their run game last week was, and I know because I was on ETN, was very, very pedestrian and very 1 yard, 2 yard.
Mm. Oh, hello. I wondered why the light was. Sorry, yeah.
Okay. Should I keep going?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Proceed. Yeah. Because we're gonna
we can cut it. It's fine.
Yeah. Where was I with ETN?
So ETN was pedestrian, like 1 yard, 2 yards.
Yeah. So the Jags, I think they need an all-around performance this week to keep up with the Bills. There's a couple of things. They've been here. so they're acclimatized. There's one London game that sticks out to me, the Philip Rivers against Drew Brees, which was a shootout. Bar that, a lot of these London games are a bit more of an event and a bit more, they seem a bit more like an exhibition game, and they're not hugely high scoring. I wouldn't be in a rush to back the Bills, and they'll probably prove me wrong and blow them out by 20 now, but I wouldn't be in a rush to back the Bills at -5 just because of the distraction of coming over here. But the under 48 to me looks fairly appealing. 48's quite a lot of points, and I only really give the Jags credit for about 17 against this Bills D. Will the Bills score 31? I'm going to say no. I have the Bills handling this game 21-17. Just a professional performance. They've got far more talent. They'll just come in here, do a job, and be on a flight home. Thank you very much. We got the W back to America.
Yeah, I agree. I think the under is a very interesting bet, which I hate doing unders, but I don't know when the Bills arrived to London. I'm guessing they're already here now. I'm not sure, but they're playing the game at 9:30 a.m. in their body clock. That's not when they will play, and you can't take that for granted. How many times have we seen West Coast teams going over to the East Coast playing in the 1 p.m. game? They struggle, and that's 1 p.m. They're thinking it's 10 a.m. Well, here we go. It's even earlier for this week, plus a 8-9 hour flight, which again takes it out of you. It's all different. So I think the Bills will have enough. I remember saying to you, Paul, like, we were watching the game last Sunday, and I felt like the Jags had completely controlled the game. But if the Falcons had scored on any points on their current drive, it would have been a one-possession game. Like, they never took them out, where you feel like the Falcons were there for the taking. Like, they could have been hammered. It wasn't a good performance from the Falcons outside of Bijan. Bijan was awesome. And yeah, your cautious comment, I couldn't agree with more. They were playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. Like, we're not going to make the mistakes that we made last week, which is partly what I wanted, because like I said to you about the Texans game in my feet the week before. Like, they played pretty well, but if they didn't have their mistakes, they probably beat the Texans. And yeah, but that's not going to be enough for the Bills. The Bills won't beat themselves. The Bills have a better D, have a better offense, and they have a slightly better quarterback as well that they're going to have to work up against this week. I think the Bills win, but I do like that under. You got anything to add to that, Jay?
Yeah, I definitely agree with the under, but for different reasons. I'm going to start off on a different angle. This is the Josh Allen Bowl. It is Josh Allen versus Josh Allen. And last time we had this matchup, Josh Allen of the Jaguars prevailed as the winner with an interception, a forced fumble, and a sack on the Bills' Josh Allen. I don't think it's going to happen this time. I've got to say, watching the game live, as you guys did on Sunday, I was totally underwhelmed by the Jaguars' offense. You know, maybe you're right. Maybe it is just the fact that they were being cautious, but the passing game was really, really poor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether that's strategic. They knew that they could win this game, as you said, by not turning the ball over. But we've seen a lot of struggle from this offense now. And if Ridder doesn't throw that pick six, when I think it was, I don't know, was it 10 or maybe 7? I think it was 10-3 at that point.
Yeah.
10-10 is very different from 17-3.
Yep.
they showed a lot of empty gun looks, and the Falcons really just took that and said, okay, well, we're going to blitz. And they really didn't get anything out of those plays. The offensive line doesn't look that good for the Jaguars, and this is a very different unit, I think. The Bills D versus the Falcons D. I would take the under. I don't know if the Jaguars will put up 10 points in this game unless the Bills make mistakes. I think the Bills will get to somewhere in the 20s, and I do think they'll cover the 5 spread. I have a lot of doubts over the Jaguars offense. Defensively, I mean, I don't know what to take from it, because it was mission stop Bijan Robinson, which for the most part, they did a good job. I mean, he was awesome. He really was awesome to see. They contained him, you know, as well as you'd want to. He had a few massive plays, which you can live with. He didn't go crazy on them. They knew that, you know, if we stop him enough, Ridder will give the game to us, and he did. But they didn't punish those mistakes. You know, as soon as Ridder threw that pick 6, he then threw another dumb pick, and they took nothing from that drive. So Bills win, Bills cover, go with the under.